A storm over New York, the mayor's orders and the upcoming change in leadership. A clash of ideologies and a battle for the city's future. In a move that has sparked controversy and divided opinions, New York City's outgoing mayor, Eric Adams, has issued a series of executive orders just weeks before handing over the reins to his successor, Zohran Mamdani. This development has set the stage for an intriguing and potentially explosive political scenario. Antisemitism versus freedom of expression, the First Order. The First Order, a bold statement against any form of discrimination, prohibits city officials from engaging in policies that target Israel or its citizens. It also restricts pension fund decisions aligned with the BDS movement, a stance that Mamdani openly supports. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this a necessary step to combat antisemitism, or is it an attempt to silence legitimate criticism of Israel's actions? Regulating protests, the Second Order. The Second Order directs the police commissioner to evaluate protest regulations near places of worship. This comes in response to demonstrations outside a synagogue, which sparked accusations of antisemitism. Adams argues that such measures are necessary to protect religious freedom and prevent harassment. However, some may see this as an overreach, raising questions about the balance between free speech and religious protection. A melting pot under strain, Adams' perspective. Adams, in his statement, highlights New York's diverse heritage, but laments the recent targeting of Jewish individuals. He emphasizes the need to protect New Yorkers' rights and tax dollars. This perspective paints a picture of a city struggling to maintain its harmonious diversity. The rising star, Mamdani and his stance. Mamdani, a democratic socialist and the city's first Muslim mayor-elect, has sparked opposition within the Jewish community due to his support for the Palestinian cause. With control over the city's substantial pension investments, he has the power to reverse Adams' orders. This sets the stage for a potential showdown, as Mamdani's stance on Israel could further fuel debates on the fine line between criticism and antisemitism. The pension fund dilemma, a controversial investment. The city's pension investments, totaling over $250 billion, include approximately $300 million in Israeli bonds and assets. Mamdani has been vocal about his criticism of these investments, a stance that has drawn accusations of supporting the BDS movement. Brad Lander, the outgoing comptroller, halted investment in Israeli bonds, a move that Adams criticized. Lander, however, clarified that he was merely ending preferential treatment, as the city does not own other sovereign debt. A battle of ideals, the order's impact. Mamdani's ability to reverse these orders adds an intriguing layer to the narrative. It raises questions about the role of local government in international affairs and the limits of free speech. As Adams firmly states that BDS has no place in the city, the debate rages on: where does one draw the line between legitimate criticism and antisemitism? The international angle, Netanyahu's defiance. Adding fuel to the fire, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has seemingly defied Mamdani's pledge to enforce arrest warrants against foreign leaders wanted by the ICC, including himself. The ICC's allegations of war crimes and crimes against humanity during the Israel-Hamas war have put Netanyahu in a delicate position, especially with the U.S. not being a signatory to the Rome Statute. A daring move, Netanyahu's New York visit. In a bold move, Netanyahu has announced his plans to visit New York City despite Mamdani's threats of arrest. During a virtual interview with the New York Times Dealbook Forum, Netanyahu stated, "Yes, I'll come to New York." This development has left many wondering about the potential consequences and the impact it could have on the already tense political landscape. A conversation starter, Netanyahu's invitation. Netanyahu was asked about his willingness to engage with Mamdani, who supports Israel's existence but resists its right to be a Jewish state. Netanyahu's response, suggesting a conversation if Mamdani changes his mind, adds a layer of diplomacy to the narrative. This potential dialogue could shape the future of New York's stance on Israel and its role in international affairs. As the story unfolds, the questions remain: will Mamdani reverse the orders? How will New York navigate this delicate balance between freedom of expression and combating antisemitism? And what impact will Netanyahu's visit have on the city's political landscape? The stage is set for an intriguing and potentially transformative chapter in New York's history.